time is it? It is Behind the Blurb o'clock. Now, who do we have behind the blurb this week? Why, the godfather of the blurb, Jenica Jenick themselves.
Hi, howdy. It's me. I've been here the whole time.
Quite literally. Been here the whole time. So, you are the blurb's godfather. You have been basically the beating heart, the showrunner, the producer. Basically,
I've been here since the dawn of humanity.
You've defined the blurb. So, with that in mind, let's take it all back to when you joined it and when you started producing it. What made you want to be the blurb's producer?
So, I'm going to be real with you. I did not want to produce the blurb. It was never my intention to produce.
Breaking news to me.
Surprisingly, the reason I joined the blurb to begin with was my freshman year. I went to college in 2020. I lost the last bit of my senior year of high school and the first bit of my freshman year of college. It was really fun and funky. But because of COVID and, the plague, there wasn't many theater opportunities on campus, and so I heard of this little thing called TV2, and I was like, oh, that's acting. TV is acting. Originally, I was gonna audition for the agenda because it was sketch comedy, and I was like, I love doing sketches. I love doing silly, goofy things. Or All Systems Go because nerd stuff. I wasn't originally going to even audition for the blurb, but it had the easiest audition form to complete. And I was filling out the form the night of auditions because I found out about it that day. So I was like, I can't write jokes in the style of a newspaper. Huh? And All Systems Go asked some questions. I don't know. So I wound up auditioning for the blurb. And then during my time here, the producer of the blurb, rip in peace, Ella, she's not dead. She's in a better place now. But she was solo producing my second semester that I was on the blurb. And she was kind of struggling because solo producing is tough. I'm gonna come around as someone who's done it multiple times. It's tough. It sucks. And she didn't have an AP or anything. So I was like, hey, I'll be your AP. Teach me things. And so she did. And so when she graduated that semester, I just took over as producer because there wasn't really anyone else to do it. So I was always someone who wanted to be in front of the camera. But due to necessity, I wound up becoming producer, which is now called showrunner. But I will say, I love showrunning. I think it's really fun. I really enjoy getting to create this environment because the blurb has grown and changed since I became producer. I will say, you wouldn't know because you are fresh baby faced.
I'm brand new.
You're brand new. Not brandest new, but I'm pretty new. But originally the blurb was a lot less fun to be on. My first semester I didn't really have there were some segments that I enjoyed talking about, but it was a lot of talking about The Bachelor every week and talking about, and just a lot of things that I didn't really, I had only a few times where we were doing a discussion. I was like, I would like to talk about this thing. This is something that interests me. And also, it was so unorganized. The way that we planned shows is we had a text chain between all of us in the cast, and we would send in what we wanted to talk about throughout the week. And so normally our show would not be planned until Sunday night at the earliest.
Oh God.
Yeah, no, it was a little rough. So when I took over as host, I was like, I want this to be a place where people can just talk about things they're passionate about and just really enjoy their time here. Because that's the point of doing something like this.
Exactly.
Is to have fun. And I also, made the Discord and started us doing meetings after the show and all that jazz. So we run smoother, better, faster, wonderful. Words that I'm sure have been put in that order before to discuss the running of a show. But yeah, I kind of tried to make the blurb my own a little bit and make it more fun and more so everyone has a chance to pitch an idea and talk about something that they love that means a lot to them. Because what's the point of watching a bunch of people talk about things they don't care about?
Right.
This has been a very long answer to a very simple question.
Hey, I mean,
but
that proves that you're passionate about the position, you're passionate about the show, and you ultimately made the show better. So,
I like to think so.
And hopefully, I'll say this: when you do graduate, the next producer's got some big shoes to fill.
Thank you. Whoever comes after me, I believe in you.
Make it good.
You got this. No problemo.
So with that in mind, let's take it back to the blurb again. What is your favorite discussion that we've had on the blurb? Whether it was when you produced or didn't produce.
Gotta really challenge my terrible memory here. We've done a lot of really fun discussions. I really enjoyed it. There was one episode, just in its entirety, that a lot of the cast wasn't there for, so it wound up being very we've only got 3 cast members who are able to show up, because it was before Thanksgiving break, and so we wound up, the show ran so haphazardly, and it was kind of really fun to just throw stuff together. Last minute, we had a discussion of niche bands that we enjoyed, where where we had we cut to tech booth, and we had the production team also giving their opinions and whatnot, and I thought that was very fun. We got to really use the spy cams and whatnot, and just really give everyone people you don't normally get to see on air got to be featured, and I think that was really fun. Not to say that I don't love when our cast is here. I love it when our cast is here. There have been so many funny and wonderful discussions.
It's just fun to divide territory.
It's fun to divide territory, I gotta let Jessica see me. Shout out Jessica.
Shout out Jessica.
I have what I refer to in the meetings after the show as my peanut gallery, who sends me commentary every week, which is one of my favorite parts of being part of TV2, just in general, is getting to hear what people think. There have been some pretty funny things said.
Yeah.
But I can't pick just one discussion panel. There have been so many. We did one talking about the integration of live action movies with animated characters, which was very good and fun. Specifically, that one a lot was because I wanted to talk about Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Oh, yeah, because that whole movie just encapsulates that idea to the T.
It's so good, and the amount of behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah, it's I think Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers kind of attempted the same thing too.
They did. I don't think they pulled it off as well.
That's fair.
Personally, I think because the thing about Who Framed Roger Rabbit is it turned into a passion project. The people who were doing it were completely overworking themselves, and that's how it got made, because there was so much, and the amount they had to create because obviously animated characters can't move real objects, so they had to come up with ways to have real objects be moved, and so there was like all kinds of like puppeteering aspects and whatnot, and just an insane amount of things. They had to like invent techniques in order to create this movie, and it's so cool, and I'm very normal about it.
That's something to keep in mind for sure.
It's just really cool.
For future Blurb stuff.
It's very cool.
It's very cool. Okay, so going from discussion to game show like we typically do on the Blurb, what is your favorite game show that we've done on the Blurb?
We've again done a lot of really fun game shows. I really enjoyed the blind date that we just recently did a couple episodes ago. I think one of my favorite game shows, though, I am a little biased because I did host this one, but it was a YouTuber apology game where I read off a line from a YouTuber apology, and the contestants had to guess whether they were real or fake. And our beautiful, wonderful AP at the time, Fennel, wrote the wrote the fake apologies, and is worryingly good at it. I honestly, I think they go into the YouTuber apology business and just write the apologies for the YouTubers. Business idea. But it was a lot of fun.
I'll major in that.
It was a lot of fun though, and I got to play things up a bit, and I enjoyed doing that.
Nice.
I did start the segment with fake crying, like having a mug of water and then just like dabbing tears into my eyes on camera.
Yeah, I remember that too. So we love music. So one thing you guys should know about the Blurb, if you haven't already, we're a big fan of musicals.
We are?
But you know what would be a great concept for a musical? The Blurb itself. So, producer Jenica, what would Blurb the musical look like?
Well, there are a few roads we could go down. We could do, because like, of course, we could do a one from an Anthony point of view as entertainment director, where the Blurb is just like wreaking havoc across TV2, and he's trying to like put out the fires that I'm starting by
Oh my god.
maybe not being the best organized and saying, hey, so what if we do, hey Anthony, what if we have the Blurb, you know, run the fitness Grand Pacer chest, something we have done on the show. I don't think you were there for that one.
I wasn't.
Yeah, we did a season finale where we had the cast run the fitness Grand Pacer test. I like to have wild ideas a little bit. So it could be fun to have an Anthony as the protagonist, like, just ready to do my job. Oh God, the Blurb is happening. We could do it in the style of Cats, where we all have I Am songs of just like, hey, this is the Blurb, and here's what's happening now. And we don't need an I Want song because we all want the same thing, the Blurb. And just have like this is me and this is what I do. Or, honestly, I'm not sure. We've been throwing around the idea of doing a musical episode, which I think would be really fun, and I really want to do that. That would just be an episode of the Blurb where everything is sung, I think.
Okay.
Which also could be fun. And we talk about we sing about music and musicals. The thing is, I'm trying to figure out where the big dance break would be in this story of Blurb the musical, because as you may well know, the way musicals work is you're speaking. And then when your feelings get too big for words, you start to sing. And when your feelings get too big for song, that's when you dance. And so I don't know what the big dance break would be, because every musical needs one.
Me just realizing I would have to do one of these musically.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I would have to do a musical Behind the Blurb.
100%. You got it.
Oh God.
I mean, you could always do it in the style of, you know the We Were All Bat People, Hank and John Green song.
Yeah.
You could do it like that, where you just turn it into a song.
Yeah.
Which would be pretty fun, I think. Or like the Rocket Crocodile from the
Okay.
Flophouse. This is a very specific mention that only one person, I think, watching will know.
Interesting. Good to know. Very good to know.
But I guess we'll find out when Blurb the Musical happens.
We'll find out. So I guess while we're talking about musicals, in terms of musicals that have actually been made, what's your favorite musical?
That's a really tough question as a theater major, because I've loved musicals all my life. My first musical that I ever saw was Cats, not Cats 2019, but I grew up with the movie. They did a recording of the stage musical in like 89, 98. I'm not entirely sure when, but I grew up watching that. Cats was the first show I ever watched live. I was like 5 or 7 when I watched it, and so Cats has there's a big space in my heart for Cats. I love it. I hate what Cats 2019 did to watch the Sideways video essay about Cats 2019 and why it's bad. Because it's like musically bad as well as just like bad to look at. I love musicals so much. There's a very special spot in my heart for Jesus Christ Superstar. I was born and raised Roman Catholic. So, and now I'm queer, so take from that what you will, about my feelings on religion. But I'm creating a video essay in my brain about Jesus Christ Superstar and the different iterations of it, and things that some did better than others, and how it all, there's a lot in here. Be ready for that someday. There will be a video essay that I make about Jesus Christ Superstar and the different iterations. But oh gosh, I just, all of Team Star Kids musicals are chef's kiss. I love them so much. Whichever musical I'm watching at the moment is my favorite musical, kind of, honestly. Because I love them all so much. I love the things that you can do on stage, and how and like achieving certain effects, and just how you, it's really cool. It's really cool. I think musicals are really neat. I really love the backstage of it all and everything. It's really cool.
Musicals are fun. The Blurb, so we at The Blurb know, especially based on last episode, you are all about John Oliver.
I love John Oliver.
If you could work with John Oliver on like any production, any set, and what would you want to work with him on?
Genuinely, I would absolutely kill to work like props for Last Week Tonight. Like recently they just made an enormous Puteki Teki puppet. The Puteki Teki.
Puteki Teki.
But the Puteki Teki is the bird of the century, as voted on. But he built this enormous bird puppet, and it's so cool. They've done for the episode about freight trains, they created a Thomas the Tank Engine episode, in which things go bad and things go wrong, and the whole town ends
Did they have
up
Taco
on fire.
IT on Thomas?
It did not. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Nick.
I'm sorry. But it did have they lit the whole town on fire, but Dude, the props that are created for, like, they made a giant cabbage once for John Oliver to marry. I would kill to work props for John Oliver. It would be so cool. The things that they make is just so neat.
Nice. We love John Oliver.
John Oliver.
Okay, well, I just have one more question. So, are you a man or a Muppet?
Who knows?